Okay. All right. Well, welcome everyone to our 41st anniversary of our conference. And today kicks off the conference year with our quality jam. Let's see. I want to first welcome everyone. And I hope that we have a lot of returnees here from our conference. I know that I've seen a couple names on the screen, as well as some folks in the background. I see Alan Ark there, who's also a speaker. And thanks for coming and helping us kick off the 2023 conference year. First, I want to introduce the theme for 2023, which is Amp It Up, Transforming Quality. And perhaps Michael, who is on our marketing chair. Michael, maybe you can talk a little bit about the theme and how we chose the theme and what you think it means to you, because transforming quality could have a meaning for everyone.
Sure. Well, on one end, of course, the amp it up comes from the fact that I'm a musician, and I love using things that are puns having to do with music. And so amp it up, of course, if you take an electric guitar by itself and you play it, it doesn't make much noise. It just, you can hear the ringing of the strings about a foot away from you, not much beyond that. But if you plug it into an amplifier, which then goes out to a speaker, you can crank that thing up to a very loud volume and many more people can hear it. And this was part of the idea of working into transforming quality, and the idea behind the understanding that quality as we're seeing it is changing day by day, year by year. What we take for granted or what we hear about quality 5 years ago is going to be very different from what we're hearing today, and what we're going to hear about quality 5 years from now is going to be very different than what we are hearing today. So we can either take the opportunity to just be in our own little space and nobody hear what we do, or we can plug in, we can amp it up, and as the quality is being transformed, we can actually boost our signal. So that is the broad metaphor for the theme this year. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, boosting our signal. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. Okay, well, just a little bit about our organization before we dig into the speakers. We've been around for 41 years now. There's a little typo there; it's just 40th. We have an annual conference in Portland this year. It's on October 9th, so please put that in your calendars. We are all volunteer-run organization and nonprofit. And one of the things that's different about our conference is that we really focus on growing people as quality practitioners, growing people. We're one of the only conferences where we give awards out to the top speakers, and then those folks come back and be invited speakers for the next year. And so we're rated by our peers. I guess you could consider them Pro Bowl players in a way, rated and as great speakers. And our goal is to really bring up people through the grassroots of our organization and promote them. It's great. As I said, we're run by volunteers, so it'd be fantastic if you would reach out to us, and if you want to contribute in reviewing papers or helping us to organize events like this one, or working in social media. There's lots of ways that you can be involved in the organization, and we welcome you to come and help out. Here's today's agenda. We just finished our networking, both local and remote. My name is Phil Liu. You can see our program here. I didn't put times before each of these speakers because, we try to be flexible and be agile, right? So we'll see what happens after the first few talks, and maybe our break will be cut down a little bit. We're not sure, but I'll let Moss dig in here and talk a little bit about the program. And Moss is the new program chair for 2023. He was, in the past, he's been the marketing chair. This is his first year as program chair, and we're really glad to have him here and give us this new ideas on generating a great program for 2023. So Moss, maybe you can introduce some of the highlights for today.
I don't know if you, I didn't expect to get up here and talk about the program so soon, but yeah, that we opened the call for proposals early. Can people hear me okay? Is
Yeah.
thumbs up? Okay.
Yeah.
And the call for proposals is open. You can go to the PNSQC website and find the link to submit. And we also will send it out through various newsletters. If you want to sign up for the PNSQC newsletter, again, you can go to the pnsqc.org website and sign up for the newsletter there, and we'll be sending it out. This is a hybrid conference, so that means that we'll have people online. I mean, it's just like this hybrid event where we have 15 people in the room, or 16 now, and then we have I'm not sure how many people, 16 people online. So it's quite a few different people in various places of the world. Phil is in Beijing, and we have somebody in Delaware, and some people in San Francisco, all over. And so the conference, we're going to try to amp it up by getting a lot of people involved, get a lot of call for proposals. We'll see what happens, and then we'll start the review committee to work to evaluate the proposals and rank them for the conference in October. And I guess that's, does anybody have any questions right here, right now about that? Or online? No? Okay. Then I'm going to hand this off to Alan, who is.
Welcome back, everyone. Getting ready to have our awards presentation. So let's see here. First of all, I think we have two folks here that are from 2022, two of the winners from last year. Careless George, unfortunately, was unable to make it. But I'm really proud to have two of our award winners from last year, Amol Patil and Jeff Singh. Amol, why don't you kick it off and show the award, as well as maybe share a few words about your experience at PNSQC 2022, and maybe even talk a little bit about what you'll be talking about in 2023. Give us a little glimpse of maybe some highlights there. So first of all, welcome to Amol Patil, who was one of our greatest speakers from last year. Amol? We can't hear you.
Yeah, it helps if I get off of mute. Yeah, well, thank you, Phil. I had a great conference back in October last year. The first time I attended the conference was back in 2010, and I was, very impressed. But I didn't have the courage to feel like I had anything to share, right? But then a few years passed, and I finally had the courage to work on some things that I'd been working on at my previous workplace for a few years. So I had harvested a lot of data for the program that was put in place, and made a paper out of it. And I'm happy that it's people felt like it was relevant. People felt it was useful, and they liked what was said there. So I feel proud. Thank you for the opportunity to do that. Here's my award. Thanks to Bhushan and others for helping me through the nervous moments. So I'm a little difficult to get started to talk, but once I start, I don't know how to stop. So it's a kind of a different thing going on here for me. I haven't really put much thought into what to present at the next topic. I had a few ideas in mind, just from my personal experience of implementing few metrics harvesting kind of projects, really around qualitative retrospectives. Right, people want to know how we did qualitatively, right? We get a lot of agile metrics, we get a lot of delivery metrics, but what can we show that builds the confidence in how well we did it, or how effective was it? So I'm thinking on those lines and starting to put some stuff together and work on that.
That's really interesting, because I'm working with an organization now that has both agile projects as well as waterfall, and I was asking them, so is Agile successful for you? And they don't know the answer. So
Yeah,
that would be
depends on
great.
who
That
you
would be a
ask.
fantastic topic. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thanks
Yeah.
very much. Jeff, are you here? Maybe you can share a little bit about your experience at PNSQC as well as your award, and maybe you can give us a glimpse of what you'll be talking about in 2023 at our October conference.
Absolutely. Well, I had such a great time. It's my first time, so I'm a newbie. It's my very, very first time, coming to PNSQC. I loved it. I thought it was well run. It's a great community. I think that was the biggest thing. You go to some conferences and they're so large, and you feel like you're just to learn. And here it was not just to learn. I think it was network, to talk, a lot of like-minded individuals that really do care about the product, do care about this practice, right? It's not a dead practice. So that I really appreciate that. Here's my award. I had to go run and get it. It's by my bedside. So so yeah. And then I think you asked what else thinking of presenting. I think so. I'm also working on something. I think one of the things that I hear that's so powerful from going to these and all is like the metrics, and the data, how do we prove quality? One of the things though that I wanted to talk a bit about was when you're in an organization that is still learning their quality, how do you present this data in the format to your executives or your other edge leaderships to get them to care about it? How do you kind of drive an iterative cycle to show the data, show that, hey, did the initiatives we actually launched move the needle? And if not, how do we do it? Right? Like, why didn't it? And I think what I'm seeing more and more is that there's not a lot of big QA teams. So my team can't be the one that's driving that number, right? Quality is everyone's job. Even other engineers should be writing their initiatives to improve quality, improve incident management, right? Improve that time to finish. So how do we enable those leaders to understand if their initiatives are aligned and actually pushing that needle?
That's great. Thanks very much, Jeff. So I just wanted to remind everyone that's new to PNSQC that Jeff and Amal came and spoke last year, and as they're saying, there's their first time. And so they come back this year as invited speakers, and they actually get paid to talk, which is something fantastic, right? So we look forward to having you guys. I guess we'll just continue on with the program now. Okay, so I forgot to show this earlier, but this is the break. These are our three winners from last year, and you heard Jeff and Amal, and unfortunately Curlis George from Egypt came all the way from Egypt to talk at the conference. He was one of the winners, and he wasn't able to make it. I think it's probably 2 a.m. for him or something like that. So just a little bit about PNSQC and our speakers. We hope that Junha, as well as Trisha and some of the other newer speakers that were here today, are able to submit a paper and speak at our conference this year. One of the things that's different about our conference also is that speakers submit a paper, and their paper, they get PNSQC assigns volunteer reviewers to work with them to review their paper and make it as good and professional as possible. And then they come, and if their paper is accepted, they can come speak at the conference and attend for free, as well as get discounts and so on, and get some great experience at I guess you could say a homegrown conference. We have about pre-pandemic, we had 300-400 people. Last year we had about 150, and we'll certainly be able to get it up this year, since hopefully the pandemic will not return. But one of the things that's really noteworthy about the papers is that they are published in our online archives and in our conference proceedings, and they basically live on forever. So if you're when you become a grandpa or grandma, you can say, hey, I spoke at PNSQC, and they can find you on the internet. Let's see. So Moss, maybe I'll let you talk about this a little bit in terms of the opening for the call for proposals for speaking and for papers. Maybe you can say a few words.
Figure out how to do it. Am I unmuted?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see, the call for proposals. I just realized one thing that we have to do is put a big button right on the front of the homepage that says submit an abstract. When you, we'll have the call for proposals starting, well, from now until about April 15th. So when it gets close to doing your taxes, you should have already submitted your ideas to PNSQC before that weekend shows up. And you can tell from the talks that we had here, I mean, PNSQC is about, it's the Pacific Northwest Software Quality Conference, underlying on quality. It's not just about testing, but it's also about looking at metrics and ways to measure things and ways to interpret and ways to present, and also all the way down to management, organization management, and changing the structure of the organization. So it's just looking at different ways to make software and better ways to build software systems. And we have four tracks that we're looking for. I don't have the tracks on here. Oh, is somebody coming in? But the tracks are usually around testing, management, process, and I forget what, I think there's an unofficial fourth track of IT management. And to write an abstract, it's pretty much, you can just think of it as kind of 2 paragraphs that introduce your topic, what the problem is that you're trying to solve, what the problem is that you had, how you tried to solve it, and then kind of the outcome. And think of it in terms of not strictly infotainment. We want you to come out with something that's very useful, but think of what makes it interesting for other people for your own situation. If you solved a problem that other people would also be interested in, you can think of it that way. And then we'll go through, and after April 15th, we'll have the review committee will accept a certain number of proposals. And then if you're accepted, you can get free entry into PNSQC. And like Phil said, you'll have your paper, you'll write your paper over the summer, and then you'll have it submitted into the PNSQC archives. Is there something else that I missed there, Phil?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's important to even share, even if you did not solve a problem. Sharing the things that didn't work is also very important.
Yeah.
I think that's it, Hamas. So we're ready.
I think so.
Okay, so we're ready for you to submit your papers. Thanks to everyone who participated today, both as a speaker, attendee, and thanks to all of our volunteers at PNSQC. Like I said, if you'd like to volunteer if you're not up for writing a paper, that's fine. That would, some people just aren't up for that. If you want to volunteer to help out, and being a paper reviewer or anything at the live conference in Portland, where we always need lots of help, would be great if you could write in and let us know. So thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you on October 9th. Take care.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good one. Take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.